doing? Are you drinking your baba? Michael, push me out the way. What did I do to you? I say we throw the bottle in the trash. Should we throw the bottle in the trash?
Yeah.
We should.
Bye-bye.
All right, so what I've done is laid out this area, the floorboard. I wish I would have cut this before I built the car, but I didn't think about it. So I'm not dealing with the transmission crap with the lines right there, the dipstick right there, trying to fight with it, you know, clearancing it. I'm just, you know, not dealing with working on the from underneath, hooking lines up underneath, all that crap. So I want to cut out a access panel, build an aluminum patch that goes over it, just like I've done up there. That way you have something that, you know, you can just take on and off and access everything right there. The carpet will be cut out for it. We'll build a nice, neat panel, all that. So first step, I've got to get it cut out now. I was going to wait till transmission comes out the car, but I think I'm going to just go ahead and do it now and just try not to hit transmission. So let's get started. All right, so what we've done is took our hole saw and drilled a couple of holes, you know, holes in there, big hole saws. And that's going to give us our radius. Now we're just going to come back between each hole and cut with a cutoff wheel to get the bulk of it out. And then we should be right there at our lines where we can do the dipstick, the side of the lines, the breather, everything should be able to be accessed right here inside the car. All right, so welcome back to the channel. So we're going to get right into it tonight. I'm making myself work out here tonight, went to the dentist today, had 6 cavities filled up here on 3 teeth. Got to cut out them sweets, sun drop, eating all them Easter bunnies for breakfast, chasing them down with sun drop. Man, that stuff will mess you up, son. So we're going to get right into it. I'm not going to try to clean up too much because I got another small mess going on from this past weekend with a project. Just some honey to-do list stuff, I guess. But we're going to try to get some stuff done out here tonight. So I feel like I'm running out of time. So whenever it's time to go get this car wired, clock's ticking. It's go time. Yeah, I don't know if there's going to be really anything interesting about too much. I picked up the bolts this past weekend to make the things for the shock sensors. We got to get that done so that when it goes to wiring, he has the shock sensors where they belong over anything else really. I ordered a dipstick for the transmission the other day so we can make a mini one because I'm not trying to have it running all up to the firewall anymore. We're trying to leave it in the car now that we got the hole cut. I don't even remember if I showed y'all we got the hole cut. Let's check that out real fast, and then I'm going to jump off of the camera and just try to get some stuff done. So I rough hammered out a pan. I don't have no English wheel or nothing like that. If I had an English wheel, I could do a whole lot better. So there's the side of our transmission. There's our transmission lines. I have this plug for where the dipstick goes so it don't get crap in it. We need to relocate this overflow piece. It was the type that goes on the front of the transmission, and then, like, you know, some other people had pointed out and I thought about, is it won't drain back. So if the fluid right now spits out, it goes down there and it just stays in there, versus if you turn this up, basically you take this box like this, and if you were to pick it up and stand it like this so that a line comes out the bottom into the transmission, then it would fill up just like an overflow box and it would drain right back down into there. So I think we're going to use that instead of ordering another one, because I paid like freaking, dude, like another $100 freaking wasted on that thing to mount it up here, to the transmission, because I ordered it for this exact transmission before I knew any better. So my piece of advice to y'all is, if you're building a car, don't waste your money on this crap. It's nice, it fits nice and snug, it's really nice, but the problem is then you're going to have to crawl in here and drain it out of here every single time, because it won't feed back into transmission because it sits lower than transmission. Man, that thing is tight, dude. There it goes. So you'd have to drain it out every time and it won't feed back into transmission. So if I could go redo this again, I would have just bought a cheap overflow tank, put it up high. Even if I wasn't cutting the access hole, I still would have just cut it up, put it up higher, you know, and go from there and just make something, versus paying $100 to have something that fits on the front of the transmission that is just more crap to drain. So my plan now is to use that, run some more line. I'm hoping it's the same 1/4 inch line I got, and probably put it up in here somehow. Man, we could maybe even put it on the carbon panel right there, but put it somewhere up in here so that it drains back down. We still need to mess with the connector on that. We talked about that in the other video, kind of beat a dead horse on that connector, but I still haven't fixed it. And then my pan, I gotta decide what to do with it because I do want it exposed. I thought about taking it to the shop, skimming it out with dolphin glaze, and then sanding it all out and painting it black, because I kind of want to put the carpet back down, cut the hole out, and Zeus this on through the carpet so that this can be taken out real fast to check the levels, because I want to make a mini dipstick that sits right here so you can check the level in here, and it's one less thing that you have underneath the hood to deal with. So let me cut the camera off. I'm gonna try to get some more stuff done, little odds and ends. I need to get the shock brackets made also, and I even actually still have not mounted the fuel filter up that we went over like a week ago or so. So I need to go underneath there and just screw this on and make sure this is going to mount right. So I've got a couple things to do under the back of the car. Oh, and we need to put these lights under the back of the car that we still have not done, just so that they're there and done. Probably need to really go ahead and wire them too. So yeah, let me get at it. All right, so we got our filter hooked up here. I just zip tied up right here to give it a little bit of stability on this end, because we have the mount, if you remember, that we put on this end of the pump, but it's still, I mean, you're talking about this full spread vibration. It's a lot on just them two. I mean, there's 4 bolts to hold the mount on them, I think, if I remember correctly, but there's still just one mounting point. So I'd like to do something better than obviously zip tie, but I'm not trying to waste too much time on it this afternoon. It's solid. It pulls it up where this end piece is kind of up against the frame rail. Still moves around, as you can see. I don't know, I need to build something that, like a spacer that bolts in from the top and then has a, you know, a piece like that that fits on the top, you know, that will clamp to that or something, just so under tire shake or whatever it doesn't, you know, put a lot of strain on this assembly. So we were able to actually turn our line around. Our line did come out of here and made a sharp turn this way and then went around into the pump. So I was able to actually flip it around and make it work for me in this situation, where it comes out there, kicks up into the, you know, up in there, back bumper, and then goes into our sump. So it comes out of our sump, goes into there, our filter before our pump and our pump. So all that's done now finally. While I was under here, I went ahead and put our other LED lights, the same one that as in the cage, went ahead and put them underneath here. All I got to do is put some clamps on the end, because no zip ties are going to go there, and get in here and cut these wires so I can put a Deutsch connector on them so they can be wired into the actual car. I might just go ahead and make a connection right here and run them in the car. I don't know, actually I got decent amount of wire, so I'll probably just run what I got up into the car and put a Deutsch connector on that and make an extension. So that will light up all underneath here, all the shocks and everything. And I was looking at it while I was underneath here. I was going to lay the car out a little bit more on the back side, because I can drop my brackets down more and lay the car down a little bit more. I have clearance between my axle and my frame rail, but then the problem is I'm getting really close to come up here and put y'all in line with the drive shaft, basically. So the drive shaft would be right there. I just feel like I'm getting pretty decently close to the top of my safety hoop, because again, I didn't intend this car to be that low. So it's like I kind of need to get the freaking drive shaft made on the way so I can tell how much I can slam it down. But I think I might lower the car a little bit more. I really do. I mean, I technically have the room. I mean, I can lay this thing pretty aggressively down. But I just kind of wanted to get all that figured out before I put the 4-link in. So messing under here, gonna go on to the next item. There's a lot of background noise on that last clip when I was under the car. I didn't feel like coming up here and turning it down. I got a pretty cool dude I met, turned me on to his YouTube channel playing on the TV. It's Nick's Performance. So if you haven't checked him out, then maybe go give him a check out. I'll pull up his channel here for you. So it's Nick's Performance and Auto on YouTube, giving him some background play while I'm out here in the garage. So he's a really good dude. Met him at the track, really liked him. He's got a lot of drive, man. So it's a shame that I can't meet more people like this that live near me. go give Nick a check, check his channel out if you haven't. So I like when I'm just out here in the garage, turn on a YouTuber, maybe a small YouTuber or something like that sometimes, and give them some background play, because we all just turn on music in the background or videos in the background, and it helps them out a lot, getting them some more view hours and stuff like that while you're tinkering, instead of just giving the big guys, the play. All right, so I said we were going to move the transmission overflow, and I looked inside 100 different times, different ways. I got it off of the pan, which is one thing I didn't like. I didn't just like how tight it was, but after thinking a bunch, I did not put it inside. I moved it underneath here to the bottom of the floor pan. So I understand that it's still down low, and that's not exactly what I wanted, but we'll have this line where it comes out of here, and then it loops around, and it'll go back in to the transmission up there. So it's still, the transmission overflow will still, if it overflows, it'll go downhill, but now it won't be on the pan. So before, with it being on the pan, then anytime you need to take the pan off, you got to deal with taking off that overflow tank. Is just one more thing you have to take off, one more thing that's in the way. Trying to simplify a lot of this stuff. And I wanted to put it inside so it would flow back into it. My thought process on that is I did some research, and everybody's all over the place about these things. So half the people say you don't need them. They swear up and down you don't need them. Other half of the people say you do need them. You get a group of people that say that they've seen that the trans fluid is so hot that it will actually melt the plastic overflow line. They said they've seen it, melt that line and fluid go everywhere. So you kind of get results all across the board when you start reading online. Some people say they put them in the trunk of the car with the other overflow tanks. Other people say they just mount them to the bottom of the car like that. Like, I've read everything, and it's not just one answer across the board. So what I decided to do is go right there to the bottom of the pans. That way it still functions the way that the product was intended to function, which is overflow in, drain it out. Not exactly how I wanted it, but when I put it inside the car, I found some spots for it, but then my brain started thinking. And I was like, dude, if this line was to melt, you have transmission fluid, hot transmission fluid going everywhere in the floorboard. So it was going to be on the passenger side, under the dash, somewhere in that area. I am going to street drive the car, like we went over on this channel some with my wife out to dinner and stuff like that. So I don't think I like the idea of that tubing running in the car. Now, I know you could replace them, thread in with AN fittings and a nice quality line and all that. Not against that in the future, but for right now, I think I'm just going to move it there. Simplifies thing. I don't have to take the box in and out of the car, just undo the quick disconnect to pull the transmission, and the box can actually stay mounted to the floorboards. It sits up higher than the subframe connectors, so if it wheelied and come slamming down, the subframe connectors would hit first. Actually, the motor and all that stuff would hit way before this thing even hit, even though the subframe connectors and K-member and all that stuff would catch it first. But what I'm saying is, it is up high enough, it's out of the way of everything, it's tucked where it ain't gonna get hit, tucked where jack ain't gonna hit it, nothing like that. So I think that's just where we're gonna put it right now. It gets it off the transmission, which was my biggest concern, and puts it out of the way. So we'll move on to something else. So I did get this block. A lot of y'all were hounding me about the map sensor issue where the nipple breaks off. So went ahead and snagged this little block. A guy off Facebook makes them, and what the deal is that your map sensor bolts with these bolts to here. The little threaded nipple sits inside here, basically. Got to figure out how that works, because it looks a little different than what I was imagining. And then you thread on a an adapt. This gets a push lock, but you have to thread in, I'm guessing, an adapter to adapt it down to an 1/8. So you got to figure all this out. Oh, okay, there's your O-ring right there. Okay, so you got the O-ring around the bolt. So your O-ring, I'm guessing, is going to get sandwiched in here, maybe, and then the nipple goes in there and bites all nice. And actually, yeah, it would go. The O-ring goes in this side, and that puts the plastic nipple in here, protects it where it don't get broke. And then I guess you would thread in your 90-degree fitting, or your push lock fitting, into here. I just got to figure out that size and order that. So just wanted to update y'all that I did get a mounting block, so we don't have to worry about that plastic nipple. But the only problem now is we still got to figure out the plug situation. So I think I might take a peek at that real fast. So yet again, y'all come through for me on the Try to get that to stop blinking. On the freaking money, I don't know how y'all got so smart. Y'all need to seriously send me some invoices and let me know what I owe y'all for all your advice and your help, because time is money. So there is the map sensor up there. Here's our green connector that wasn't going in. Here's our black connector that come with the map sensor from Holley. So I took y'all's advice and started looking at the ends of them, the little grooves, and dude, y'all were on the freaking money. So you can see on that side at my knuckle, there's a slot cut in it, and on this side there's not. And then you can see there's a slot cut in that right there. And you can see on this one, there is not. It's actually on the outside. So if you look at where the slots are on the black connector right now, okay, I can't do this two-handed, but you can see the slots on the center one, and you can see the slots on the outer right one. And then if you look on the green, you can see the indentions actually in the plug where I was trying to force it in. And the indentions match it to a T of where the actual slots are. So let me see if I can put them like this. So there we go. Look at the green one compared to the black one, where the indentions are and where the slots are. So I greatly appreciate that, y'all. I don't know what I would do without y'all on some of this stuff. So I guess I'm gonna try to just depin the green one and see if I can just push the pins in this one and lock it in place and not have to change nothing. I know if somebody else is watching this video, the other ideas that my guys on my channel on this video gave is that you could take a razor blade and cut these correct slots in your connector to make it work. So if you stumbled across this and you're having the same issues, you can do a razor blade if you don't have the correct connector. This is the connector that come with the map sensor. So this is the correct one. That's the one that come on the harness. So the plug needs to be changed out. So again, thank y'all so much for helping figure out this problem. Just in case anybody has stumbled across this, to depin these type of connectors, they have these little wings on the side of them. So if you can see, let's put it against the black box. So you can see them little wings on the side of them. So what you're actually gonna do is you're gonna take your tool. This is a tool that comes with the Deutsch connector kit that I bought. And you're gonna push this. When you push it up in the connector, you're gonna push it like that so that it, let's see if I can get this to focus, like that. And what it does is it closes the little wings up right there. So it closes the little wings up on the piece, and then that allows you to just push this out. So hopefully if somebody stumbled across this and they don't know, hopefully this will help you a little bit. My way of passing back to the community as a thank you for the help that my guys gave me. So I actually used y'all's trick on that little thing underneath the dash, that little plug. I went to change the plug over and could not get that thing depinned to save my life. I tried it for a few minutes. Y'all's is a recommendation of or stories of how you have in the past took a razor blade and cut the little slots in. It was just the little devil on my shoulder. It was right there like, do it, do it.
Come on, do it. Lay down right here, do it. Do it.
And y'all have learned me now. It don't take much to get me frustrated. So we did the little cut-a-roo on the green plug, pushed it in. You know, it took a little bit of pressure to push it in because you're taking a razor blade and slicing a little thin slot in it. You're not actually, like, I just cut a slot through it. I don't know if y'all cut like 2 slots and take a little strip out. I actually just cut a slot. So you're having to open that slot up when it pushes in there, but it pushes in, it clicks in, it feels good. So greatly appreciate that trick. I used it. It's probably not the right way, but I am going to throw the correct plug in my box of wiring stuff to send with the car when it goes to get wiring, just in case for some reason that causes an issue or something. That way he has the correct plug so he can put it on. But I wanted to thank y'all again for your tricks and tips.